Hello again. Welcome back to Bamboo Batu on YouTube. This is Fred Hornaday, and today we're talking about bamboo investing, how to invest in bamboo. Definitely an interesting topic, something a lot of people are interested in asking about. And so we're going to look into it today. There's lots of good reasons to invest in bamboo. If you know me, you know that I love bamboo as much as anything. And the more bamboo we can plant in the world, the better it is for the planet, and many, many reasons behind that, which you can visit bamboobatu.com and learn all about the many, 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 many benefits of bamboo. But today we're going to talk about how to invest wisely and responsibly in bamboo, which is not to be considered investing advice. I'm not liable if you invest in a project that does not work out. Please do not hold me accountable. It is up to you to do due diligence on the specific project projects that you choose to pursue or invest in. But having said that, we're going to do a high level overview of the bamboo industry here. So investing for profit and doing so in an environmentally responsible manner is a tricky balance to maintain at this point in the history of our planet. We have spent the last many, many centuries focused on economic growth at the expense of extracting resources from Mother Earth. And the result is where we are today, which is an environmental crisis of unprecedented proportions. And so how to keep that in mind, but also invest responsibly in a way that can make you money and earn you some profit and revenue, but at the same time benefit the planet and communities, and just being concerned and aware of not only the environmental impact but the social impact of your investing. And so there's a lot to think about there, and more people do need to think about that. And I think bamboo is one of the best investments we can make that will not only bring a financial profit, but can also bring great benefit to environments, landscapes, communities throughout the world, and especially in the tropical world, in the global south, where bamboo grows especially well, and where the economies of the last several centuries have really put those countries and regions at a serious disadvantage. So bamboo, as I said, is potentially a great solution to many of those issues that we face. As you probably know, bamboo is an amazing plant. It grows incredibly fast. It grows very well with minimal requirements. Doesn't need good soil. In the right climates, it just grows like a weed. It produces about 35% more oxygen than trees as it grows, and that is crucial to mitigating climate change and reducing CO2 levels in the atmosphere. It's an incredible way to draw down carbon from the atmosphere because of its fast growth rate and high metabolism. Also, because of the way bamboo is harvested, you can harvest the giant culms that are like the size of a tree without killing the plant, because it's a renewable grass. You cut down the culms and the roots, and the main plant still survives. And that means, unlike trees, when you harvest bamboo, you are keeping the plant is still alive. It's still holding on to that CO2. So it's a very effective carbon sink. Trees, on the other hand, most types of trees, you cut them down and that's it for the tree. Whatever carbon had been stored in the roots of the tree will be released back into the atmosphere after the tree is cut down. And so you have a much more effective carbon sink with bamboo than you do with trees. And then with the trees, after it's cut down, you also have to replant and wait another 20, 30, 40, 50 years, depending on the variety of tree. You have to wait all those decades for the tree to be harvestable again, to reach full size. So bamboo is just a much quicker, faster, more effective way to green landscapes that have been degraded or deforested or despoiled by other activities, either natural or man-made. So yeah, many reasons to support bamboo farming and businesses and projects. So let's talk about some different specifics here. One way to invest in bamboo would be just simply to start a bamboo farm. You can just grow, if you have some land, you can just start planting bamboo. There's some seedlings being sprouted in some pots. If you're growing a large farm, you would probably need a more efficient way to propagate seedlings. If you're looking at planting about 100 plants per acre or 250 plants per hectare, somewhere in that range, give or take, depending on the species, depending on your climate, depending on what final result you want from your bamboo. But those are some rough numbers, but basically you're going to need a lot of bamboo plants. So starting from little pots like this might not be the best way. But the point is, it's one way to invest in bamboo is just to start farming some bamboo, start growing bamboo, come up with a plan how you can monetize that bamboo. It could be a bamboo nursery. You could be growing bamboo for shoots. Edible bamboo shoots are a big business in the US for sure, as in other countries as well. You might want to be growing it for building material. There's so many uses for bamboo. Frequently people ask me to make a list of all the things you can do with bamboo. And I kind of have to laugh at that because, you can do anything with bamboo. It's like, yeah, can you make me a list of everything you can make from trees? Yeah. If you think about it, it's not a really reasonable request. You can make just about anything from bamboo. I like to say if it can't be done with bamboo, it probably shouldn't be done. But having said that, if you're making a business out of it, you need to have a little more strategy. You need to think about the best product, what the demand is in your area for products, what the competition is. Very likely the competition will be Chinese bamboo. And even if Chinese bamboo is coming from 10,000 miles overseas, it could still be a very, very strong competitor on price and quality. They make some excellent bamboo products there. So you'll need to find a niche where you can differentiate yourself with something unique that isn't already being mass produced in China. But again, there are so many things you can make from bamboo that should be possible. But it does require some forethought. Don't just go plant 100 acres of bamboo and think, oh, I can make anything with bamboo. And then 10 years later, you're like, so what should I make from bamboo? You need to plan ahead, because that'll determine what species you plant, how you manage it, how you harvest it, and everything else. So another way is to invest in bamboo farming in Africa, where you might not own any land, but there are many landowners in Africa that have lots of land that's not being used well, or land that's been deforested or degraded through mining or other industrial activities. But deforestation is a huge issue in Africa. They continue to cut down old growth hardwood trees to make charcoal, for example. Charcoal is a vital resource in Africa and other parts of the global south for heating and for cooking. And it is just a horrible way to use hardwood trees that take decades and decades to grow, and they cut them down and turn it into charcoal, which is usually using very inefficient and irresponsible, not irresponsible, but just not the cleanest and most effective ways to make charcoal. It makes a lot of smoke, and and you don't get a lot of charcoal when you use dig a hole in the ground and throw some trees in there and burn it, and then dig up some charcoal and then heat your house with it. That should not be why we're cutting down forests in Africa. So again, bamboo is a much better resource for things like that because it grows so much faster. You can harvest it without devastating the natural forests. You can use it to help reforest these areas. And there's plenty of landowners that are interested in bamboo farming all throughout Africa. I speak to them on a daily basis, and they've got land, they've got other resources, but in most cases, they do not have the financial resources to get their bamboo farm off the ground. It does take about 5 or 6 years or so, maybe more, for a bamboo farm to become really profitable, because there's call it a runway period of waiting for the bamboo to mature. It grows incredibly fast. You can harvest it on a regular basis. But in the first few years, when you have these small plants, you do need to wait for them to reach full size and maturity. So investment of time and money is required there. And many of these farmers in Africa and other developing parts of the world do not have those financial resources to invest. They need something quick, and that's why they're going into the forest and illegally logging trees to make charcoal and things. They need something quick and easy, and so investing in projects that can deter those types of behaviors and activities, and thinking it more in the long term, could definitely be beneficial to the communities, to the environment there, and it could become quite profitable. There's so many products you could be making. Just the charcoal itself is a pretty easy thing to make, and there's huge demand for it. And then there are more high value products you could be producing. Again, the list of products to be made from bamboo goes on and on, but there is demand in Africa, or you could develop it for export market. A lot of directions you can go there. If you're not sure about starting a brand new bamboo farm, you can invest in an existing farm. There are many farms, small, medium-sized bamboo farms in the global south, in South America, Africa, throughout Asia, where they have the expertise and the knowledge to grow bamboo, but they want to grow more, and land there is cheap. They could easily expand. But again, they need some investment, and there's many great opportunities like that. This is my friend Carlos. He's got a nice farm down in South America. That's not him in the picture, but that's one of his workers. But as you can see, the bamboo is just growing like crazy there. This is I believe this is Dendrocalamus asper, giant bamboo. Mostly they farm guadua bamboo in South America. That's the native bamboo species, giant bamboo species, guadua angustifolia. But other species of bamboo from Asia also grow very well in the tropical environments down there in the highlands of Colombia and Ecuador. And so there are many opportunities for investment there. Along with expanding a bamboo farm, there's also the need for bamboo factories. There's this chicken and egg dilemma that we always refer to, where farmers aren't really confident to plant a lot of bamboo because there's no bamboo factories in the area where they can, where they believe they can sell their harvest. And investors in bamboo factories are a bit hesitant because they're not sure if there's going to be enough raw material to feed their factory and keep it productive. And so again, investment is needed there to overcome these obstacles and get beyond this chicken and egg dilemma, and demonstrate, okay, we can invest in this farm, we can build this factory, and we can guarantee that if you plant your bamboo, the factory will be here and will buy a certain amount of bamboo from you every year. And arrangements like that need to be made to secure these types of projects, so that both the factory owners and the farmers can feel confident in moving forward. So there needs to be cooperation on both sides, and a lot of that requires investment. They need money to get these projects started, and cooperation. And it's a different situation. There's similar situations in lots of different parts of the world like this, but at the same time, every situation is unique, and the problems and obstacles are always going to be slightly different from place to place. But it is, again, another great opportunity for investment, where you can definitely build a profitable bamboo business. And again, like I said, due diligence is necessary to examine all the threats and opportunities and pros and cons of investing in these types of projects. We mentioned this before, but bamboo for land restoration is another great possibility. There are so many areas where deforestation has just devastated the landscapes, either for just cutting down trees for building, for charcoal, for mining, other industrial activities. And we need to replant these areas, and not only with bamboo, but the bamboo could be mixed with local trees, and should be mixed. I definitely always recommend more biodiversity, but bamboo is a great way to get those degraded landscapes rejuvenated, because bamboo grows so well like a pioneer species. It's good in those poor soils, and it gets an early foothold. It starts to hold the degraded soil and eroded soil, holds it together, builds up the topsoil, creates a little shade for new plants and new trees, and it can be mixed with native trees, and slowly allow the native habitats to regenerate. Bamboo is definitely a powerful tool for that, and investing in that is another opportunity. The bamboo in a project like that will need to be harvested at some point. Another interesting thing about bamboo is that when it is growing, it does capture lots of carbon. Like I said, it's an excellent carbon sink. But in order to really be the most effective carbon sink that it can be, it actually needs to be harvested. If you just leave it growing in the wild, those poles come up, and after several years, the poles start to age and rot and decay. And as that happens, the carbon, the CO2 is released back into the atmosphere. And so it's important to harvest those older poles before they age beyond their prime. So when the poles are more than 3 or 4 years old, depending on the species, some poles can be on the plant in the ground for maybe 10 or 15 years. Some of them start to age and decay after just 8 or 9 years. But in any case, there is a point where they should be harvested. And in harvesting those poles, that ensures that the CO2 remains sequestered in the plant, in the roots, in the biomass. And it also encourages new fresh growth. Like with any plant, as you prune the older branches, older material, and encourages fresh new growth. And so it just promotes a healthier plant all the way around, and makes use of the plant's abundant biomass, and maximizes its potential as a carbon sink. So it's important to remember that. And so if you are planting bamboo in a reforestation project, it's important to have some strategy for what to do with that bamboo later on as it matures. And whatever that strategy is, it will probably involve making a product that you can sell and earn money on. So there again, you have a business opportunity by planting bamboo, even if the bamboo project is primarily about reforestation and or some other philanthropic purpose. There will always be some opportunity to use the biomass for some commodity of one kind or another. Beyond the commoditization of bamboo biomass, there are also programs where you can earn carbon credits. This can get a little bit complicated if you want to plant a bamboo forest and earn carbon credits for the CO2 being sequestered by that forest. It can be difficult to measure that, and there are a number of ways to do that, either by measuring the CO2 in the above ground biomass, the carbon in the stems and stalks of the bamboo and other plants and trees that might be on the land, and then measuring the CO2 held underground in the roots in the underground biomass, which is a bit more complicated to measure. But in a large scale agroforestry project, it's important to measure all that, and that's a huge industry right now that's still developing as they develop better and better tools to measure and record and verify the carbon sequestration of forests. I get a lot of people contacting me, asking me how they can earn carbon credits that way for growing bamboo. And to be honest, it's pretty complicated unless you have, it's pretty expensive also, unless you have a huge project with thousands of acres. It's generally not worth it to pay for the measuring and verification of the carbon sequestration. It's some huge volumes of paperwork and costs, upfront costs. Could be $50,000 to $100,000 maybe for a single project. So if you just have a few acres, it does not make sense to pay those kinds of fees. But if you have a large scale project, it could make sense. The carbon market, again, is still developing, and you can contact me if you want to know more about that. An easier way to earn carbon credits is through biochar production. Biochar is a super interesting way to use bamboo and other biomass. It's something I'm really excited about. I've been promoting. That's a big pile of biochar right there. With biochar, it's much easier to measure how much CO2 you are, how much carbon you're collecting, because you have that tangible asset there. You can physically look at a cubic meter of biochar, and you can weigh it and you can test it and say, okay, this is 85% carbon, and then you bury it in the ground, and there you have carbon buried in the ground where it stays for hundreds or even thousands of years. It's an amazing way to remove CO2 from the atmosphere and put it into the earth, where it actually does provides great benefits for the soil, for farming, for soil fertility, higher crop yields, and greater agricultural returns. It's a great thing. So that's another way to earn money on the bamboo crop, and also it is a way to invest in bamboo if you want to purchase those carbon credits. And you are supporting these projects that are farming bamboo and providing jobs and opportunities in the global south, in these tropical areas where there aren't necessarily a lot of economic opportunities for the people living there. So this is a great way to really create win-win-win relationships, planting more bamboo, drawing down more CO2, making farms more productive and profitable, giving people a better livelihood. Definitely an area I'm excited about. If you want to know any more about any of these different types of investing opportunities with bamboo, you can contact me. Contact me through my website, bamboobatu.com. There's links down below in the notes. And wherever your interests in bamboo may lie, I hope you find great success and satisfaction pursuing them. And I hope to see you next time. And this is Bamboo Batu signing off.